Triple H may have a big nose, but now he's got an even bigger target on his back because, Hunter, you're next. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and it will be at SummerSlam, according to Eric Bischoff, at least of right now. Triple H defending the World Heavyweight Championship, that big belt that Goldberg once held in WCW. Yeah, it's going to be Triple H versus Bill Goldberg, SummerSlam main event, or at least it's going to be the main event of the Raw side. Now, Goldberg didn't need to earn this. He didn't win a number one contenders match, but he did destroy Stevie Richards in a minute tonight. So, yeah, maybe that's how you get title shots these days. Maybe all you need to do under the Eric Bischoff regime is beat Stevie Richards, White Sox, Sunday Night Heat, Stevie Night Heat.
I think if he beat White Sox Steven Richard, then he would actually have more of a case. But he's beaten Jobber Fale to Victoria Stevie Richards, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's not even Dr. Stevie Richards. It's not even Stevie Richards that was in the flock.
He's running about wearing pink fucking shorts. How good can he be?
Speaking of pink, Vince McMahon comes out in a pinkish / it's like a pink salmon.
Yeah.
Like a tin of John West.
McMahon can wear whatever he wants at the end of the day.
He comes out looking like Angel Batista. He's like, I'm confronting Kane's lack of manhood. Not because I'm a good husband. You all know better than that. He says, before tonight, everything is going to break loose against Kane. And when McMahon tells me this, I believe it. I hang on every single one of Finny Mac's words.
Yes, right. Opening match, we go straight into it. Booker T just comes out, interrupts McMahon, but McMahon, I guess, just disappeared. It's like he vanished into thin air. It was strange. Booker T comes down. He is then followed by Steiner and Stacy Keibler. Then it is Test and Christian. And we get ourselves a good old tag team match player to start the show. It wasn't great in the end. Test hits Christian with the big boot. What's that all about? And then Booker T hits a scissors kick on Christian. Booker T getting another win over Christian. And I guess Test and Steiner, their wee feuds continuing. Where's it going to end? I don't know. Maybe SummerSlam, maybe Raw. When is Steiner going to...
Unforgiven?
When is Steiner going to be like, hold up, Test, I beat you. I've got Stacy. You've got nothing. Let's just go our separate ways.
Yeah, I feel like that bridge should have been crossed a while ago. Same with the Booker T Christian story. But at the same time, it's four guys that have had a pretty big impact in the wrestling business. Some bigger than others. I mean, this is your mid-card.
I mean, I would have rather seen a fatal four-way for the IC title, but
yeah,
I'll take it.
You can still tell the same story here with a fatal four-way match.
Yeah,
absolutely, and it would have felt a bit fresher than just two feuds in one. But Booker T gets the win after Test kicks Christian by mistake. Axe kick.
I mean, I've already discussed the finish.
Yeah, I'll go over again. It was that good though. Open your ears, you lying piece of shit. Anyway, moving on. We got a press conference. Triple H versus Goldberg. JR was very high on this.
Hold on. Do you think if the commentators repeated the same thing over McMahon, would they be like, "What the hell you doing, you son of a bitch"?
See if I was sitting at ringside in a suit with McMahon in my ear instead of sitting here in the West Wing with my house coat on talking about wrestling, then maybe, just maybe, I would be more up to speed on the ball. Catch my drift. See if Michael Cole was sitting at ringside in his house coat, what do you think would happen with McMahon in his ear? That house coat, regardless of the car, would turn brown. It would turn shite.
Yeah, anyway, right, then it gets announced, Triple H, Goldberg's SummerSlam. We had the SummerSlam press conference, apparently it took place last week. We then got Goldberg versus Steven Richards. Goldberg destroys Steven Richards in a minute. I don't know what you were expecting, but basically lifts him up, gorilla press slam into the spine buster, then he hits a jackhammer. And he also got a spear in there as well. So some big impactful moves. Don't know if Goldberg needed all of them. I mean, he could have probably beat Stevie Richards with one of them, let's be honest. Triple H comes out after the match, interrupts Goldberg, says, "Oh, you did well. Stevie Richards, he's a hell of a guy." I feel like that's Triple H just ribbing Stevie Richards. I mean, it would have been more genuine if Hunter came out and went, "You beat a jobber, Goldberg." So what?
Yeah, heel tactics, I guess, to a degree for Triple H, but let's call a spade, man. Triple H has been very boring this reign. What I was expecting from this reign, because, I mean, I barely remember much of the Raws here, but I do remember the pay-per-views, and it's hard to judge a title reign solely from the matches, but do you not think the promos for Triple H have been lackluster?
Yeah, it's been shit.
Like, he has felt like an afterthought on Raw. First of all, it felt like Austin and Bischoff. Second of all, it's now been Kane. The world champion feels like IC level to me.
I think ever since Triple H really stopped feuding with Shawn Michaels, he's been so boring.
Yeah.
Anyway, Triple H basically says, you can beat Stevie Richards, but you can't beat me. And Goldberg then says, well, if you're such a badass, why wait till SummerSlam? And Goldberg's trying to get the match on tonight, but Triple H says that, I will whip you on your own time. And Goldberg, I guess, just thinks Triple H is a fucking coward. But Ric Flair's not a coward because he rips off the shirt and he wants to fight Goldberg tonight, but he gets held back by Triple H. And then Eric Bischoff comes out and goes, hold on just a minute. Goldberg versus Ric Flair. I can't give that away for free without promotion. So Eric Bischoff then announces next week it's going to be Goldberg versus Ric Flair. Woo! And Goldberg tells Rick, Nature Boy, you're next. So it's going to be Goldberg versus Ric Flair next week. So I mean,
that's a match I can accept being booked for next week. But today, 7 days from now, you're going to get Kit Wilson versus Carmelo Hayes. I mean, Goldberg and Ric Flair, two massive fucking names, by the way.
Can we not talk? Listen, we need to make a new rule where we just... And I know it's difficult, and sometimes I bring
I
up...
think that's a fair comparison.
Yeah, I know, but I mean... I
will never talk about it.
No, but I do...
The line has been drawn.
Yes, but I just... Well, let's just talk about it for 30 seconds since you brought it up.
What about that guy with the mascara that looks like Rico?
That fucking gay boy. No, but honestly, I want to try and enjoy... I don't want... Listen, no, but this is 2003 Raw. I don't want to hear the name Kit Wilson. I'm sorry. No offense to the guy, but he fucking...
plenty of offense.
Well, yeah, plenty. He fucking sucks. And I just want to... I'll accept you talking about people that's going to appear in 2004 and 5 and 6, but let's not talk about Kit Wilson, who is like 22 years later, because I have no interest in him. Right, moving on to a match that... What?
Exactly.
Aye. Moving on to a match I have no interest in. It's Val Venis versus Rico.
Rico slaps Val Venis. Val Venis in 2025 wouldn't accept this.
No, probably not. No more 2025 references.
That was a fair enough one.
I've noticed this, right, and I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, but I cannot give them the benefit of the doubt anymore. Rico is a heat magnet, and not in a good way. A heat magnet as in his ass needs to be pulled back to Sunday Night Heat, because this guy fucking sucks. It's not necessarily him, but he gets zero crowd reaction. Every match he's wrestled so far, it's been fucking dead. His first match, I believe, was against Spike Dudley. Then he had one against, was it the Hurricane? I think it was the Hurricane. And now Val Venis, and the crowd just do not care. And yeah, Miss Jackie's with him, and Miss Jackie's hot, but at the end of the day, it's a 5-minute match with Rico. Miss Jackie's not in the match.
No, my problem is with this, so people compare it to Goldust. Goldust was far more... Everything Goldust did is better than Rico. It's actual character work, right? And it's like gimmicks, and it's impersonations. Rico just comes out looking gay.
Goldust's a character. Rico just looks like a dude in drag. I mean, it is what it is. Anyway.
Yeah, and he's like 40 at this point.
Val Venis goes for the money shot. Rico gets up. Rico gets pushed off. Miss Jackie gets up, tries to grab Val Venis' leg. Venis then kicks her off and hits the money shot anyway. Gets the 1, 2, 3. Val Venis wins in a 5-minute match. Will this be the end of Rico? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's in SmackDown vs. Raw, which came out the next year, so it's not going to be the end.
Yeah, no, but by the end, I mean, could this be him just demoted to Heat or Velocity?
I hope so, but normally back then, if that was simply your role, you wouldn't have been in the game.
I mean, fair enough, but I just don't see much of a future for this guy. Who knows?
No, there's no future, make no mistake about it. But up next, we actually have a good segment. It's the highlight reel.
But we don't know. Rico could have been doing this shit for the last 2 months on Heat, or they could have just pretty much put him straight on Raw. Now, do they need to go back to Heat and try and get a bit more over? Or work on something? Should we not have seen some more segments or vignettes building this guy up? They kind of did just stick him out in matches.
It's just a shite version of Goldust. I'll stand by it. And at this point, because it's like, if you want him to be gay, right, then make him gay.
Mission accomplished.
Aye, but then he's cut. Miss Jackie's out there with him. I just don't think that makes sense. I mean, at least with Goldust, it kind of did. In Luna, or maybe even when it was Terry, they made it work. in like 97, 98. This in 2003 just ain't working. Anyway, I'll tell you something that worked for me, brother. Highlight reel. Chris Jericho's out there. He's in a great mood. Randy Orton goes out to Motorhead.
I didn't like Jericho's glasses.
No.
They looked like safety goggles.
He looked like a guy at the DIY section of
it looks like he's just about to drill into some wood or something like that.
Relax, Junior.
Anyway, Jericho brags about beating Shawn Michaels last week. Apparently, he's the first ever person to make Shawn Michaels tap out. I don't know if it's true or not, but I can't imagine they'd be...
Probably just due to... Well, it's probably just due to a lack of people doing submission moves.
Bret Hart?
Yeah, but Bret Hart never beat Michaels.
Montreal, buddy. At least Bret thought he was beating him.
Aye, he did.
Didn't quite work out that way, did it?
Bret never tapped to Michaels, did he?
According to El Hebner, he did.
He did.
Anyway, so Jericho puts himself over. Jericho says, all you ass clowns can boo if you want. But the tap out was official, and it was. Michaels, see, at the end of the day, though, right? It doesn't really matter what happened. Yeah, Orton may have helped, but it's not the same. See, it's not like he passed out or he got beat by a pin. Michaels did still tap at the end of the day, even if the odds were against him.
Or if he was in the walls of Jericho and Orton punted him.
I knocked it. But
which would have been a cool spot.
Yeah, but I struggle to see how the referee wouldn't see that. But anyway,
we didn't see the RKO, did he?
No, but why would Jericho have the submission of him if the referee was down?
Maybe he thought he was up. It's still his finisher at the end.
I think
of the
a clutch. Yeah,
finishers are done to hurt people.
You wouldn't.
Not to win all the time.
No, but I don't think you'd go for a submission if the referee was down.
I've seen it before hundreds of times.
I think if you're a heel, you'd go for like a chair or something.
So you've never seen a heel do like a big devastating submission move, even while the ref's down, to hurt them, to like work a leg or an arm.
Maybe.
Play the game, son.
Either way, Orton comes down, shakes hands with Jericho. He gives Jericho an Evolution shirt. Jericho says to Orton, I would give you a Jericho shirt, but we're sold out.
That's pretty good,
So,
isn't it?
none to spare.
Jericho's so underrated.
And then Jericho kind of just pulls Orton in a wee bit close. He's like, thanks for the help. Not that I needed it.
Yeah, it got a bit tense, but then it went from 100 to 0 real fast. It was back to lovey-dovey again.
Yeah, Orton then says basically, the Heartbreak Kid is a heartbreak joke, and he's a legend killer. He ended Mick Foley, and now he's going to end Shawn Michaels. That's the next legend that he's going to kill. Jericho then says, Aye, Orton, you're correct. Calls Orton a sexy beast. Then he introduces Shawn Michaels, the man that tapped out to the most devastating move in wrestling, the walls of Jericho.
Like, say what you want about Orton, I think the legend killer gimmick it's close to the 2009 Orton, but it's such a good gimmick because as long as the person that's got it is like semi-over, it has to work because you're working with legends. As long as the time period you're in is good, it has to work.
Yeah.
Because if you're working with legends and you're like ending them and you're killing them,
and you're going over, then surely
how does it not work?
Yeah, it's
and that's why it's genius.
It is, right. Michaels comes out, he says that if he had a nickel for every person that said they were going to end him, he'd be a millionaire. But he's like, oh wait, I am a millionaire because of stiffs like you. Jericho and Michaels get in each other's face. Michaels says, I want the third match tonight, and Jericho's like, not tonight, buddy. I've already beaten you last week. There's no chance of you getting a rematch in front of these ass clowns. He said he's got nothing to prove to him, and then he calls him a sanctimonious son of a bitch, and that seems to be Jericho's new go-to word.
Yep, he called McMahon must like it. He called Austin it a couple of weeks ago. Just a delivery, man, it's great.
Yeah.
A lagging mile.
Then we get a brawl, 2-on-1 brawl. Orton and Jericho team up on Michaels, and before we know it, Kevin Nash comes down to make the save. Took him a long time. You could hear the crowd cheering and reacting, but then 10 minutes later, Nash's legs finally got to the ring. So
he was looking old.
He was. I don't think he dyed his beard here. But anyway, this leads to Kevin Nash versus Jericho. The match lasted less than 5 minutes, which I thought it lasted more than that.
It started during the break, so I think it must have went on for a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how long it lasted, but I mean, it lasted pretty long after the DQ. So Nash goes for the jackknife. Jericho hits a low blow in front of the referee, gets disqualified. But then after the match, Nash just really spends the next 5 minutes beating the shit out of Jericho. Busted him open, threw him into turnbuckles, slammed him on the mat, threw him into steel steps, threw him into the barricade. lifted the steel steps, went to smash his face in with them, and Jericho made a run for it. Jericho busted open badly here, so big sexy Kevin Nash doing a number here on Y2J.
Yeah, I like this, and I think it's going to be interesting seeing these two, Michaels and Orton, be entered into the Elimination Chamber. That at this point is, you know what, those four. Yeah, I mean, Orton takes on Michaels at Unforgiven, and I'm pretty sure Jericho and Nash have Spoilers! Well, you know what, man, this is 2003, should be caught up. And then there's the hair versus hair match between Jericho and Nash. So
why can't we just talk about the show instead of you talking about the future and
no, but
Kit Wilson with 2025?
Oh, hold on, I'm not talking. Who?
Why, that guy.
SummerSlam's too big not to have these two feuds involved. And therefore, you stick it in the fucking chamber. Brilliant again.
What chamber?
The Elimination Chamber.
Spoilers, mate.
Spoilers, fucking reel it in.
What about people that have
We're talking about Goldust for 97. Is that a spoiler?
No, that's in the past.
You said you can talk about 04, 05, 06. I'm talking about fucking September.
True, actually, I did say that, didn't I? Right. Then we
Hurricane. Rosie, someone called me a big piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, you are a piece of shit. He wants a cape. He wants superpowers, but Hurricane's like, nah, you ain't getting any of them. You need to be like me. You need to be a real superhero. And then Hurricane flies off. Rosie tries to fly off, but doesn't really work. We then have Kane arriving at the arena. So it actually happened in an earlier segment. They backed up the police van and they bring Kane into the building. Eric Bischoff's like, under no circumstances do you let him out until I get the word from Vince McMahon. Eric Bischoff, though, notices one of the police officers opening the back door, and they claim they're trying to get Kane some air. Bischoff's like, I don't care about air. I don't care about human, what do you call it? Human, not human sacrifices, human rights or whatever.
Aye, rights.
Aye.
Well, Kane's no human, it's monster at the end of the day, but, I mean, still, Kane's he's got his wee bracelets on this week, isn't that right, Coachman? Anyway, I mean, this was good. Looking forward to what happens. It's revealed that Van Damme's got a severe concussion and JR is finally out of the hospital. And because JR is not at the commentary team, Dave Underley. I could barely get the words out there. Dave Underley. He's allowed at the announce table because JR's not there.
Yeah, normally the announce table's a white man spot, but it turns out that when JR's gone, you can get Devon and Coachman.
Aye.
So yeah. Anyway,
we need JR back though.
We definitely
because Coach ain't cutting the mustard.
No.
He can take his bracelets and shove them up his arse if he wants.
Yeah. So we get them there. Dudleys are there, and then we get a tag team title match: Lara Sistons versus Garrison Cade and Mark Jindrad. Now, apparently, Cade and Jindrad beat Lara Sistons on Heat last week, but I don't care. This match was like the Rico match. The crowd was dead. And to me, that's 2 times too many on tonight's show.
Yes, but you know what, man? At least they are willing to try new things here. They're giving guys that are up and coming. I mean, I say up and coming. Look at Lara Sistons, the tag champs. But this is fresh. This feels like this is the Ruthless Aggression, and we're trying to push new guys. I can respect this, even though it fell flat. At least these are all relatively young guys.
It does, but I think
Rico's 40.
Yeah,
Fuck Rico.
I know, but I think Lara Sistons at this point are still relatively new and not really over. And then when you put them in a match with 2 guys that basically the fucking crowd don't even know, then I think it's a recipe for disaster.
Garrison Cade, I believe, is Lance Cade, isn't he? So
yeah, I just think it's different. I think you can have Lara Sistons versus the Dudleys, and I think you can have the Dudleys versus Garrison Cade and Mark Jindrad, but I'm just not sure. And to me, that's why the Dudleys were here.
Yeah.
To try and
plug the gap.
To try and enhance this match, but at the end of the day, the live crowd don't hear the Dudleys.
No, they don't, but we did. That's all that matters. We weren't in the crowd. Wish there was, like.
Yeah, well, I mean, true. After the match, first of all, Lara Sistons get the win with the double spine buster, or whatever it's called. What's that move called? It's just like a double spine buster, isn't it?
Aye, that's
something
yeah.
like that.
Well, sure they do it.
Flapjack into like a spine buster.
We do it to Spike through a table and miss, and you break his neck.
Right, and after the match, they basically beat up Lara Sistons. The Dudleys come to make the save, and then the Dudleys get hit in the back of the head with a pole. So
the French flag was missing the blue bit.
I think it was wrapped around.
Oh, was it wrapped around?
I believe so. Anyway, this match lasted 8.5 minutes. I wasn't really impressed, to be honest. Second match of the night that was just devoid of any heat, and the crowd reaction was pretty much dead. Then we go backstage. Kane is about to get released from the fan. Bischoff's like, if he makes one wrong move, you light him up. You light him up like a Christmas tree. Then all the sheriffs then point their lasers at Kane, and Kane gets released from the back of the fan, and he's all shackled up, and he's escorted out the fan by a number of guards, and it just looks cool, doesn't it? Seeing all these sheriffs with their lasers pointed at Kane, and Kane...
It's like a serious fucking threat. It puts it over. It puts over the extremes that Kane has went to. You know, it's not like Kane's just set people alight, pile drive the wife of the guy that owns the place, killed Van Damme, killed Tommy Dreamer, busted open Rico, and there's no repercussions. He just gets to work there. No, they're actually like making it this guy's under arrest and he's only allowed to appear when he's wearing big, heavy fucking chain shackles.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Right, up next we got another match that just didn't have any crowd reaction, and to be honest, I don't think any of our matches have had crowd reaction so far. It was Gail Kim defending her Women's Championship for the second time, I believe. Second or first defense, either way, it was unsuccessful. She loses in 3 minutes 15. In my opinion, she should have tried to delay the kick out for another half a second. Well, she didn't kick out actually, so that's irrelevant. She should have tried to get pinned for a 4 count, because then at least it would have lasted 3:16, and that's Austin's number. And that's something.
You went somewhere with that, but I didn't like it. One-way street, back up.
3:16 is better than 3:15, and I won't have anyone tell me differently.
This match just didn't work for me.
Yeah,
the entire...
No, Molly Holly's finish was impressive. I like it, the Molly go round. And to tell you what, I've never really seen her botch it either.
No.
So,
but see, for me, this is the problem, right? With wrestling. See if you replicate this women's match twice, and then you have 3. How much worse does this card become? And that's why, for me, if you're going to have a women's division, just have one match.
I kind of like the way that you're not that surprised that Molly won, because titles could change hands quickly. Whereas, if this happened today...
Oh, what do you mean today?
If this happened...
2006 is as far as we go.
If this happened 22 years in the future after 03, you would just know that the champion can't lose here just because they just became champion 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and there wouldn't be some shitey loophole. Oh, they're injured. I mean, this is literally just a case of you've no worked, Molly. We'll give it. No, you've no worked, Gail. We'll get it to Molly.
Aye, basically. I mean, that's it. So just
which I like. I like thinking on their feet. That's what real businesses fucking do. See, when you're losing money and you're losing viewers and people are losing interest, you try and get it back ASAP. You don't fucking wait.
I'm not saying Molly Holly's the new Rock or anything like that, but I just don't think Gail Kim was really cutting the mustard. So. Yeah, then we get Vince McMahon. He's shown walking down a hallway, and it's announced that he will confront Kane, and that's going to happen after the break. So McMahon is already in the ring. He tells Kane, it's time to get your big ass out here. So then Kane makes his way down to the ring. He's got the officers there. He's shackled up in his chains. McMahon then confronts him at ringside. It's like, it'd be real easy to beat the hell out of you right now, Kane. Maybe too easy. So then McMahon tells the officers to take the chains off, and the King can't believe it, Coach can't believe it. McMahon's in the ring, and he's waiting on Kane. Kane gets in. He's like, who the hell do you think you are? Pile driving my wife, you French fried freak.
Yeah, very goofy fucking remark, but it worked. It worked for me.
He calls Kane a monster. A real, live, remorseless monster.
Wait a minute.
And then Vince, all of a sudden, his his expression changes, and Vince McMahon's pondering. He's thinking, what could I do with a monster? Vincent Kennedy McMahon and Kane together. And he's like, right, well, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't have went as far as you did. Maybe you don't put your hands on my wife without my permission next time, but we can work with it. So Kane and McMahon.
See, I really like the Kane and Shane McMahon feud, but I think there's a hell of a lot of more legs in Kane at this point than a 3-month feud with Shane McMahon. Even though I think it's great, right? And I wouldn't change anything in the feud. I think there's more in Vince McMahon using Kane as a fucking monster to kill people. Would you agree?
Who's he really want to kill at the moment, other than Zach Gowen and Stephanie?
But you can change it though.
True, but
but think of it, right? I think this version of Kane going up against fucking face Brock Lesnar versus this version of Kane. Sign me. You want to talk about must see? Perk Angle versus this version of Kane. Either of those baby faces. Give me that every day of the week.
Then so the glass shatters, and then before Kane can even spit out anything he wants to say about the proposal, Austin makes his way to the ring, and he says he's going to stay on as the general manager. And he says, well, unfortunately, that means I just can't whip your ass, Kane. So he wants provoked. Austin's like,
oh,
provoke me, Kane. Austin then starts, ripping on Kane, calls him a son of a bitch, and he throws his black towel to the ground. And when you touch Kane's towel, that's not a good sign. But Kane just kind of looks at Austin, and
did I touch your hat?
And he realizes, hold on, Austin, you're fucked. You're on double one. You can't do nothing.
You got nothing.
So Kane just kind of backtracks, and then, here comes the money! Here it comes the money. Shane McMahon comes down to the ring. It's like, what the hell is this? Shane McMahon gets in the ring, clotheslines Kane. Kane and Shane then tumble over the top rope to the side. Shane lands on top of him and starts punching him. McMahon grabs his son off. He's like, what the hell are you doing? And then Shane just decks McMahon as Kane tries to get out of here, makes his way up the ramp. Shane grabs a chair, smashes Kane over the back a few times, hits him over the head with a few unprotected shots. Kane then flies off the ramp, goes through the announce table like Bischoff did a few weeks ago, tries to sit up, but unfortunately, like, kind of
one of the tables didn't break.
Yeah, so it was kind of difficult for him, so he kind of has to, like, rotate his body, then sits up, and he just looks up at Shane and laughs as if...
There was a bit of, like, pizza on him as well, wasn't there?
You've done it fucking now. Yeah, there was, like, a cookie or something.
What I would have done, I think this writes itself. SummerSlam. Shane and Austin versus Vince and Kane.
Ooh, that's no bad.
Aye. I think that's what it looks like.
That's pretty good, that.
Fucking damn right, that's pretty good.
But unfortunately, we don't get that. Spoiler alert, guys. That was the end of the show, though. So, listen, I think it was...
I'll be honest, I expected more from McMahon and Kane. Austin and Shane. It was still good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, I expected just a wee bit more.
Yeah, listen, it was a good start to the show, and it was like a good ending to the show, but...
It was still the best stuff on the show.
And I like the highlight reel. But other than that,
the
honestly,
matches,
I can't really say it was that great. The tag team title match, meh. Rico versus Val Venus, Gail Kim, Molly Holly, not really doing it for me. Yeah, Goldberg squashing Stevie Richards is fine, I guess. I thought the opening match with Booker T, Steiner, and Christian and what's his name, Test, I thought that was a wee bit too long.
SmackDown's matches are far better.
Honestly, man, I thought this Raw was a wee bit disappointing. I mean, I liked it, but I was expecting more. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10.
I'll give it a 6 as well. I think it's disappointing to a degree, as I thought some stuff was. Just seeing Austin, Kane, the McMahons, the return of Shane, and the highlight reel, that's more than enough to elevate it up. But, I mean, I know it's hypotheticals, but if you took them off it, then what would you be dealing with? A big bag of shit.